Welcome to Wednesdays with Wayne, and this video is all about spring maintenance. It's mid-March to April. The temperatures during the day are about 40 to 60 degrees, and nighttime temperatures are hovering right around freezing. So I feel it's safe to go ahead and do your cutbacks to uncover some of the perennials and cut back all the grasses and things like this. In order to accomplish what I have to in the springtime, I have a tremendous amount of beds, and therefore my time is somewhat limited. So I'm going to show you again the house strip, and this is a very sustainable, low maintenance bed, and what I do to take care of this to make it very quick in terms of my maintenance. You can see where I've run the mower through part of this and literally just cut down the grasses. The grasses were this tall, and I make a pass through there. And then what I'm doing is emptying the debris into a bucket, and then I'm taking this debris and actually recycling this debris way down in my woodland area. I'm dumping the debris and actually using it for mulch. So I'm going to go ahead and start up the mower and give you just a little bit of the action, a little bit of a shortcut method of cutting back a bed such as this. What you can see is how quick and simple this can be. It gives me a lot of coverage, a lot of area. I have my mower on the absolute highest setting. I'm catching the debris. You could also use the debris in the bed as a type of mulch, but it's doing a really nice job pruning these grasses back. And again, this is sustainable plants, kind of low maintenance plants. So this is a very excellent time-saving tip. When it comes to pruning shrubs, you want to realize whether they bloom in the spring or in the summertime. So in the case of things like lilac or forsythia or fothergilla, you would not want to prune them in March or April because you'll be cutting off all the flower buds. In this case, this is a deer villa, which either has insignificant blooms or just blooms later, so we can go ahead and do a shaping and pruning to it. Again, we can do this with a pair of hedge trimmers and give it a nice round shape. There's so many stems on here that it doesn't exactly matter where they're pruned, so we really can just, again, shape it. If you want to do it by hand and cut right above where the buds are, that is good as well, as long as you've got that amount of time to do it. Let's talk about the ornamental grasses. You can see here that they've kind of taken their toll from the winter interest. So again, we can take this pair of hedge trimmers and we can go ahead and cut them just above the ground. Clear this foliage away, tidy and clean it up a little bit. If we've got a lot of grasses, we can use the gash hedge trimmers just to cut them off just again above the ground. Let's talk about hardy hibiscus. These are the ones with the big flowers in the summertime. These stems look really dead because they have died back. You notice the leaves were covering it and protecting it, and down here we've got a lot of green growth. So we want to cut into this green growth and cut these stems off. It's not going to look like this plant is doing much until mid to end of May or possibly even June, because the temperatures have to be warm for this plant to start growing, and it'll be great. A few more tips on some of the maintenance for perennials. I've got a coral bell here. There was a lot of dieback on it. You never want to remove or cut off the crown of the plant. Therefore, I'm just lightly going to take the foliage all the way around the edges, and then new leaves will come out of this crown. When it comes to lavender, you never want to cut lavender down to the ground. You simply want to remove maybe a quarter or a third of the lavender. I'm going to go through here. It's going to look a little bit bare, but these stems are going to start to leaf out, and this whole plant will start to fill in and look just gorgeous for the summertime. A few other ideas with herbaceous perennials. This happens to be oregano, ornamental oregano. You see there's some basil foliage coming up, and I had cut a little bit of this off in the fall. But at this point in time, I want to cut this pretty low so that all this new foliage again can regenerate. Time saving, going to use the hedge shears for it. And then let's go to the butterfly bush. Butterfly bush should have been all covered up for the winter time, so then when we uncover it, we're going to look to see if we have any live tissue. Unfortunately, it looks like a lot of this is not looking alive. So I'm going to cut this down to just a few inches above the ground. I'm looking for these stems actually are looking like there is some green inside of them. So we're gonna have to wait it out a few weeks. This is obviously really low, and I'm gonna see if we get some new foliage generating from the butterfly bush. So thank you for joining Wednesdays with Wayne, sponsored by Niemeyer's Landscape Supply. And remember, beautiful landscapes start here.